Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green. I'm the manager of the AFC Wimbly Womblys, and today it is raining in England in a stunning turn of events. But because it is cold, in fact, it is January, the transfer window, it's coming down as snow. We're taking on Port Vale, a made-up place, if ever there were one. And today I'm going to talk about Disney rides, Walt Disney World. I grew up in Orlando, Florida, and my mom had free passes to Disney because she won a big community service award when I was a child. So I've been to Disney World like 200 or 300 times. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it with a white-hot passion. I know that's going to alienate me from 99% of nerd fighters, but when you go to Disney World as often as I did, it's just not that fun anymore. Meredith, you notice how you can, it's easy to say that you can see the sponsors on the shirts, but I find it interesting that you can also see the sponsors on the shorts. Like, look at Port Vale has a short sponsor. You can see their little, yeah, that's nice. Anyway, today, as you can see, we're in third place, not in the automatic. To be automatically promoted to the championship, we'd have to finish in the top two. We're currently in third. That would put us in the playoffs, where we would have to win, basically, we'd have to win the semifinals and then the finals to go to the championship. Whatever. It's going to be fine. Just, we've had a good season, but it hasn't been a great season. I'm feeling good about where we are, though. We got Seb Brown in goal. He saved 2 penalties against Luton Town, sent us into the Football League. Then he saved 2 penalties against Manchester City to win us the FA Cup. So we've got John Green and John Green, teammates in life and in love up front, as you can see. They're married to each other, but they're also married to AFC Wimbledon. We got Yabamba out on the left. He likes to score some goals, and I like to sing his name. So Meredith's going to tell me the rides at Disney World, and I'm going to review each of them. Now, there are some rides I'm sure that I haven't been on because I have not been to Disney World since I was no longer forced to go in the late 90s. And I'm sure that I will have to go again with my child, but I will be very resentful about it, rest assured. All right, Meredith, what's my first ride? Country Bear Jamboree? Overrated. For me, it's just okay. It's certainly not the worst. I enjoy a good country bear, don't get me wrong. Oh, we've got a chance. Oh, it's a difficult moment. Oh, it's another corner kick for the Wimbly Womblys. K. St. Luce, the patron saint of lost crosses, with a nice cross. Oh, but it's too far for other John Green, who's not as tall as his husband. Yeah, I mean, for me, the Country Bear Jamboree is like pretty fun. Doesn't it have some animatronics? I enjoy Disney animatronics. I particularly, but mostly in the Hall of Presidents, I have to say. The Hall of Presidents, of course, being by far the best ride at Disney. What is my next ride? Dumbo? So, when Henry went to Disneyland in Anaheim after one of the VidCons, he really enjoyed Dumbo. And then I had to explain to him that it was a lame ride. Because all you can do, the only thing you control is whether you go up or whether you go down. Oh! What? How did that not go in the net? I literally don't understand what happened. Did I slip on some snow? What an amazing pass. I think that was from Frankenstein. And then I still don't know quite what happened, but I guess their keeper made a save. K. St. Luce, the patron saint of lost crosses, with a ball into the box. Oh, it's beautiful, but it doesn't happen for us. And that's not a good shot. That was poor. Yeah, I mean, for me, Dumbo, I mean, it's in my top half of rides for sure, but not the best one. That's the Hall of Presidents by far. What's my next one? Haunted Mansion, also in the top half. I enjoyed going to the Haunted Mansion, partly because once you've been on the Haunted Mansion a few times, you know the quote-unquote scary parts, and if you're, well, first off, when you're in that room with a bunch of strangers, you can kind of watch them get like fake scared or real scared if they're really new to it, and that's kind of fun. And then, oh, get there, John Green, you're better than that. Oh, beautiful sliding tackle. And then when you're on the little, the ride part where you're seated and you go through and they say your name. I always like to give fake names like Elvis. I like to give the name Elvis, so they'd be like, Elvis. And you'd be like, oh, it's so scary, golly. Yeah, I don't know. Hall of Presidents. That's the best one. Oh, is their keeper? I mean, we should get him in the January transfer window. Well, if I wasn't so happy with Seb Brown and his far better backup, Gledson. All right, what's the next ride? Haunted Mansion. It's a Small World after all. Worst. Worst than anything. Oh, how did you? It's like we can't shoot when it's cold, Meredith. It's like we get cold when the air gets cold. It's very disappointing. We've absolutely dominated Port Vale, which makes sense since it's fictional and we're real. But so far, no breakthrough. Yeah, I mean, absolute worst. What? Golly, absolute worst. It's a small world after all. I mean, I think it's designed to make people mad, and I don't mean angry. I mean insane. I think it's designed. I think it's like a form of. It's essentially like a form of torture. You're stuck on a boat. You're told that if you get off, it's going to be very dangerous, which I think is a lie. The water's like 2 feet deep, and it's pure terror. I mean, it's just pure, unadulterated. People say like, "Oh, Space Mountain is scary." Space Mountain isn't scary because it doesn't make you look deep into your soul and see the blackness that is deep down inside of you. What's scary? Off the post. Come on! What's really scary, is looking into the void that It's a Small World After All makes you. I hit the post again. This is getting ridiculous. That It's a Small World After All makes you look at. There's Yabamba. Yabamba's going to make it all better. He always does. He always does! Yabamba to Bald John Green. Bald John Green with the beautiful goal. Oh, he's so hot. Look at him. He's running to me. He's running to his manager. Oh, and he gives him the heel click. Oh, Bald John Green, his head just disappeared. I am concerned. His head disappeared. I repeat, Bald John Green, briefly without a head and a torso. Yabamba, I was like, Yabamba's going to make it all better. And then Yabamba made it all better. Beautiful cross into the box. Bald John Green with the finish. And suddenly I'm free from the pure, unadulterated terror that is It's a Small World After All. Okay, what's the next ride? The Mad Tea Party? I mean, I recently made a Wimbly Womblys video. It's a classic called Times I Vomited. And I forgot to mention the Mad Tea Party, which was another time that I vomited because it spins, which is vomit-inducing, but it like spins on 2 axes. There's the spinning, I don't know how to describe it because I'm really bad at math and science and stuff, but there's the spinning of the actual teacup, but then the teacup itself is on a larger circle that also spins. It's functionally impossible for anyone not to vomit on that ride. And I don't quite understand like what the pleasure is. There's really no meaningful relationship to actual Alice in Wonderland. Like it's essentially a, like, do you want to vomit? If so, get on this ride. I don't know what's supposed to be so fun about it. So no, I don't like the Mad Tea Party. What's the next one? What? They got rid of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride? They got rid of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride? And now it's Winnie the Pooh? They got rid of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride? The one redeeming facet of Disney World other than the Hall of Presidents? If they got rid of the Hall of Presidents, I'm out. I don't even want to finish this game. I want to just resign and lose 3-1. They got rid of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride? Well, why even bother being alive? Why go on? The cool thing about Mr. Toad's Wild Ride was that if you got on the left side of the line, you got a slightly different ride than if you got on the right side of the line. And so if you've been to Disney World like 400 times like I have, there was at least the hope. That was really an interesting idea from K. St. Louis, the patron saint of lost crosses, but we have to say that was a lost cross. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, if you've been to Disney World 400 times, like there was at least the, I don't remember if, the slightly more fun one is on the left or the right kind of experience. And then you'd be like, oh, right, yeah, it was on the right and I went on the left. Great. But Mr. Toad's Wild Ride was like almost legitimately fun. And then they got rid of it for a Winnie the Pooh ride. I mean, I'm going to say that it's probably still the best ride at Disney World because I'm sure they didn't like rebuild it entirely. They just probably replaced Frog and Toad with like Pooh and Piglet. All right, what's next? Peter Pan. I mean, pretty fun, actually. It's cool to like pretend to be in Neverland. That's a place I like. That's a place that I find interesting. So I'm gonna say that's actually. Oh, you've got to make that run, Golden Child. Don't worry, Yabamba was there to back you up, of course. Of course he is. Of course he is. Yeah. Oh, I am also frustrated, Yabamba. I was ready to sing your name. Oh yeah, that was a weird. It wasn't far off though. Had some weird curve to it. Nothing the keeper could have done about it. Yabamba has a really strong shot. He's only a 56 skill level, but he's got a strong shot, and he's got pace. So what else do you want from a attacking midfielder? Um, what were we talking about? Peter Pan. Yeah, I mean, I always dug like getting to pretend to be in Neverland. Like the means of conveyance is actually a little bit better than it is at most Disney World rides because you get to pretend to be flying, and there is actually like that flying, bed or ship or whatever it is. Whereas in most of those, like Snow White, I'm just like, wait, why am I on this particular means of conveyance? Like, you're completely ruining the fantasy for me because, like, why would I be on a if I were in Snow White's world, why would I be on this, why would I be inside of this, like, cup that's taking me around and I can't control where I go? That doesn't make any sense. But with Peter Pan, you have the illusion of flying, which is very pleasant. Yeah, I'm going to give Peter Pan a solid 4 out of 10, which is going to put it in the, top 10% of Disney rides for me. What's next? Pirates of the Caribbean, best Disney ride other than Hall of Presidents. Now I'm starting to think maybe I like Disney. I think I might have actually enjoyed it as a child, at least at the beginning. I once chewed tobacco on Pirates of the Caribbean. Not to brag. Not to brag. I don't like to brag, but yeah, when my mom would make me go to Disney World in high school because we had free tickets. Again, this is like very first world problems. Like, oh, my mom was such a successful community activist that they gave her free tickets to Disney and wah wah. But I was 15. You find a way to complain about your life. That's the nature of being 15. Yeah, I really liked Pirates of the Caribbean. That part where you go down, it's so scary and fun. Yeah, it's really fun and like it's the right length of a flume ride. I don't want it to be any longer than that, like because then I get legitimately frightened. So yeah, that was perfect. Oh, what a great ball from Ball John Green to K. St. Louis. Finding the space. Ball John Green, he's not a brilliant player sometimes, but he has a brilliant idea of space. Oh, Golden Child, track it down, track it. No, Golden Child. That's just part of being 17, ladies and gentlemen. But look how he tracks back. Look how big and strong he is for a 17-year-old boy. Oh, man, that was promising. But again, like Golden Child, he's a long-term investment for the Wimbly Womblys. Like, we know that, K. St. Louis, really, who was that pass to? Was it to that little patch of snow? What's my next ride? Space Mountain? I mean, certainly of the roller coasters, the most fun. Couple comments about Space Mountain. One, the line is way too long, and like the stuff that you look at in line is not nearly interesting enough. You know what I mean? Like, they're always like, oh, yeah, you have to stay in line for 45 minutes, but you get to see, all of this fake space stuff. Oh, saved off the line by the Golden Child. I just criticized him, but if it weren't for him, it would be a 1-1 draw in the 90th minute. The Golden Child wins us the freaking game. That's as good as a goal. Oh, my goodness gracious. That's a bad tackle, but luckily we got away with it. The Golden Child. Oh, what a great tackle. Oh, I mean, he can. All that kid does is run. He's like Forrest Gump, Meredith. He's the Forrest Gump of our team. He just goes and goes and goes. But yeah, I don't know. Space Mountain's a pretty good roller coaster. It's not a great roller coaster, and if it wasn't at Disney World, everyone would be like, this is the worst roller coaster at Six Flags. I guess it's like, it's cool because it's in the dark, but what? I think it's overrated. Overrated. Unlike the Wimbly Womblys, who had a great game. I don't know why we're congratulating Seb Brown. We should all be surrounding the Golden Child and thanking him for being 5'3", but managing to clear a ball off the line. Great game. It wasn't a beautiful victory, but to win in the snow is a victory, and look at that. Look, I love to see our opponents feel like they're less than human after playing us. Yabamba with the assist for the 1 goal, and then he puts his face right into Pell's armpits because he just wants. There's the Golden Child. Really saved us in this game. Oh, Callum Kennedy's hideous hair. Meredith still likes it. I can tell. That's the only time she watches the game is when Callum Kennedy shows up. Thanks for watching. Best wishes.